Hello and welcome back to the Will I Vike It podcast. Today I'm at the Crannog Centre in Scotland, and my guest is Mike, who is the director
Hello.
of the centre. So welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for having us here. We've been here, well, almost 2 days now,
Yeah.
from yesterday lunchtime.
You've had all 4 seasons and
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, you arranged that, did you,
Yeah,
specially?
just how it always is, but
Yeah.
a little bit windy today.
It has been. We've had, lots of rain this morning.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a lovely sight. So yeah, we'll just talk a bit about, I guess a good place to start is how you became the director of the Crannog Centre.
Yeah, I mean, my background's in steel. I did 28 years in the steel works in Middlesbrough. Got involved with local history, telling the story of steel works and the ironstone miners.
Yeah.
And on the back of that, I was asked to apply for the job of director of Rydale Folk Museum on the North. Didn't know anything about museums.
Okay.
So I literally parked my crane up on a Friday night
Yeah.
and started working in the museum on the Monday
Wow.
as the director as
Yeah.
well. So that was even more tricky.
Yeah.
So to cut a long story short, I've since then went to the Anglo-Saxon Museum at Beadsworld in the northeast, then to the National Coal Mining Museum for England for a bit, and then at the end of that one, I had a bit of time, and I've been working since I was 16.
Yeah.
Never went to university.
Yeah.
And so I thought I'll take some time out. So I took some time out, maybe a month or two maximum. This job came up, and we'd been up here as a family, brought the kids to the Crannog.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what, I'll just do that for 6 months, get a bit of fresh air, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. So I came up for 6 months, put my notice in after 6 months, as promised. Was asked to stay on a little bit longer. Got to 2019, and they said, just stay a little bit longer, so I did. Then we hit COVID. So I desperate. As soon as COVID was over, I thought, right, that's it, that's me done.
Yeah.
Then the fire.
Yeah.
So obviously I needed to stay to shepherd us
Yeah.
into where we are now. So yeah, that's how I had
So how long's that now?
Too long.
Too long.
Yeah, so I got here 2018
Okay. Yeah. As a temporary position.
as a temporary position.
So I guess another good thing might be to explain to people what a crannog is, because they might be wondering, it's not a word
Yeah.
we come across down south. So
No, so Crannog is depends how you look at it. A Crannog is an island in the loch, man-made island of which there would have been a dwelling on top. Some sort of house, whether it was stone, whether it was timber. I was the first one we'll make up with timber. For me, it's more of a symbol of home. It's more of a symbol of community. It's more of a symbol of sanctuary, and it's more a symbol of when people say, "Why did they build them?" Because they could.
yeah.
It's more a symbol of, when you stick your minds together and your hands together, what you can make together as a community. So it has a slightly different. I'm not so stuck on the archaeological. I'm stuck on what it actually means.
Yeah. So I'm assuming they're unique to Scotland, the crannog?
Yeah, they kind of run along down into Southern Ireland as well. So
Okay.
that Celtic tradition.
Yeah.
But actually, when you look at it across Europe and across the world, people like to live on the water. You go to the Philippines, you'll see houses on stilts.
Yeah.
There's, in Central Europe, there's communities there where it's on stilts.
But the houses themselves are still standard kind of Iron Age roundhouses on the stilts?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. You would recognise it as
Yeah.
an Iron Age roundhouse.
So I guess, are the benefits more to do with if you're a fishing community, that kind of thing?
Well, the archaeologists here tell me there's no evidence they actually get fish. So whether
Good.
that's true or not, who knows?
Yeah.
And as you know, you get 2 archaeologists, you get 3 theories.
Yeah.
So whether it was for status, whether it was for security, whether it was for because they could, whether
Yeah.
it was for some sort of mystical reason of being on the water, whatever the reasons are, I don't think
We don't know.
we don't know, and that's the beauty
Right.
of it.
Yeah.
It's the beauty of it. So when we talk to the visitors here, we let them make their own minds up a little bit as well.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good way to be. Even with some of the buildings you've got, I know they're interpretations based on post holes and things, right?
Yeah.
So it's always down to
Yeah,
one
and,
opinion versus another.
and that's why we've made the effort to try and make as many of these buildings slightly different,
Yeah.
to try and capture different thoughts and different thinking.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is a new site which opened just this year, didn't it?
Yep, so March the 31st we opened for the ceremonial opening, if you like,
Yeah.
and then April the 1st for the general public.
And that was, I don't think fully, but it's partly led by the fire at the old centre. So unfortunately, was that 2 years ago now?
3 years ago,
3 years.
so
Okay.
June the 11th, 11 o'clock at night,
Yeah.
all the 11s.
So no one here
Uh,
or there.
there was, when you watch the CCTV, there was just that little glimmer at 11 o'clock, little tiny spark. 6 minutes later, it was gone.
Wow, that's quick.
Quick.
Yeah. So I'm assuming you know what caused it?
We don't know what
or-
caused it. We
No?
know what
Okay.
didn't cause it. We know it wasn't electrical, and we know it wasn't vandalism.
Right. Okay.
That's from the police and the
And
fire
that's
brigade,
all you've got.
and that's all we've got.
Huh. Interesting.
So apart from that, it could have, so next door there was a bit of a complex. One reason for moving, quite a big holiday maker complex, and there's lots of barbecues and things going on.
Yeah.
Could have been a spark. It wasn't as windy as this, but it was one of those nights where there was just a little bit of a breeze.
Yeah.
It was red hot, been red hot for a number of days. That's why
Yeah.
it just tindered.
Yeah. Interesting. So at that point, I think you'd already acquired this site and you were planning the move?
We were going to move anyway,
Yeah.
and the plan always was, I never thought I would lead on the move. I just thought I'd be here
Let someone else do
to
it.
buy the land. We bought the land for £1, which is fantastic
That's a bargain.
from Scottish Government.
Wow.
So that was good. We got the phone call for that during the middle of COVID, so we're all on a bit of a downer.
Yeah.
We managed to keep all of the staff during COVID.
Yeah.
And the Scottish Government rang me up and said, because I'd put an offer in for a lot more than that,
Yeah.
relatively thousands of pounds.
Right.
And she said, sorry, mate, we can't accept your offer of so many £1,000. Scottish Government want to recognise the ambition of what you want to do, blah, 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 blah. We'd like to sell it for £1. Which had us in tears.
Yeah. I bet.
So that was that.
Yeah.
So we always had somewhere to move to. So that meant that on the night of the fire, I was able to call the staff down about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Still 5 fire engines there, still lots of police.
Mm.
And I just said, we're going to do exactly what the Crannog dwellers would have done. Thank our lucky stars nobody was hurt. Be thankful that our collection, the personal belongings of the Crannog dwellers,
Yeah.
the wind was blowing the right way.
Yeah.
So we still had that. And we're going to move.
Mm.
Easier said than done. But I was determined that we would, even on that night,
Yeah.
own the story.
Yeah. Yeah.
The following Saturday morning, didn't go to bed. We were all sat having a cup of tea and such. And a couple of phone calls were coming in. People were sad. The press were coming up. Politicians were going to visit. And then somebody rang me up and said somebody's put a Just Giving site up. Oh, well, okay. I didn't really know what Just Giving was. I'm not really a...
Yeah.
Anyway, to cut long story short, by the end of the weekend, 20-something thousand pounds, then another couple of days, £50,000. It would end up over £100,000.
Wow.
And that's when I knew that with that level of public support, we would be grand.
Mm.
So then it was a case of politicians. John Swinney asked us to, he's the First Minister now, asked me to come up with a plan that was doable, because the original plan was to come and build a great big museum. And so at this end of so this is the Tay, Loch Tay. The river, the River Tay is Scotland's most powerfulest river.
Yeah.
So at one end of the river lies the V&A in Dundee. And at this end of the river, we wanted to build the new museum here with a deeper sense of belonging and more heft. Don't tell a V&A that. So that was the plan, but Scottish Government said to me, you need to come up with something that's quick, affordable, and get yourselves open again.
Yeah.
So you can start trading, and that's what we've done.
Yeah.
Hence the pods and the Iron Age village, and then we're building the Crannog rather than the other way on.
I mean, the speed that it's been rebuilt is incredible, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, because originally we didn't have a plan.
Yeah.
Well, originally we didn't have the money, so this has cost about £4 million all in.
Yeah.
We didn't have the money, we didn't have a plan. Then we had to go through planning, which again with buildings like this isn't always easy and straightforward.
Yeah.
None of this timber is from B&Q anywhere.
But it's all local, though, right?
Oh yeah, every bit of timber you see here is within 2 miles.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was tricky, but to actually get this done and opened has been.
Yeah.
And I can't claim any credit for it. The folks that have built this have been absolutely unbelievable, incredibly dedicated, incredibly skilled group of people. So it's been a privilege and quite humbling really to see it go up over the winter.
It's quite a unique position to be in with the set of circumstances and the speed at which it's gone up. But it was, I guess, almost like what it would have been, right? If a community's got to move, they've got to
gotta
get
move.
stuff up.
It's got to move, and we took that. And that's when people say, "Why didn't you build the Crannog first?" We're kind of thinking that community would have built stuff on land first, and then
And
gone
build
out.
up to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we've kind of done, and I think we've, like I say, we took inspiration from it as we always do here from the past, and looking to shape a new future for the organisation.
Yeah.
When I arrived here, I think we employed 2 full-time, 4 part-time people. We employ 34 people now.
Wow.
That's not a small organisation
Yeah.
anymore. We've got a lot of people to look after. As you know, we run our apprenticeship programme as well.
Yeah.
We have a diverse workforce, so we best engage with diverse audiences and have different ways of thinking, which hopefully has fed into how we are. So we
Yeah.
have different voices.
We've kind of seen it from 2 ways, really, because we went round and did the tour yesterday
Yeah.
as public, and then
Yeah.
today we've been dressed in our kit and
doing it, yeah.
slightly out of period, but fitting in,
You're the
talking
future.
to... Yeah.
You are the future. Where did it go wrong? Yeah.
Yeah. So I wonder, I mean, so you haven't got access to the old site anymore.
No.
Was there the opportunity to learn anything? So with, for instance, Must Farm, where it was a site that's burned down. I don't know how much you know about it.
Yeah, yeah.
But it burned down, and from an archaeology perspective, they've learned a lot because a lot was left behind.
Yeah.
I know you said the artifacts and stuff weren't there, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
But have you been able to learn anything from the fire?
No, I don't think as much. I mean, there's the reconstruction that was on the lock. I think with some students and some university folks came up just to see how it fell into the lock.
Yeah.
And understand how that happened. And we obviously know it took 6 minutes to burn.
Yeah.
But I think after that, our task was, we did get a few inquiries, folks wanting to come up. Our task was to get us moved.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been a different kettle of fish if there had been the artifacts and everything else in there to.
Yeah.
We'd pretty well cleared the thing out ready for the next day and all that sort of stuff. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think what we've learned is how quickly it would have burnt down.
I guess, has that changed working practices here? Because you don't know what caused it, but have you had to implement new fire safety rules, anything like that? I'm sure it's a nightmare.
It's what it has done is it's put the insurance up.
Yeah.
And no, I don't think so. I mean,
No.
when we first come onto this site, it was really panicking. We can't have fires in the buildings. We can't do this. We can't do that. Actually,
You've got to.
Of course you have.
Yeah.
So that's so we've done that, and away we go.
One thing we noticed, so this time last year we were driving across Europe and into Norway, and I noticed from the Netherlands, Denmark, Sweden, all their reenactment sites, they actually have a piece of cowhide above the fire that's just hanging from the rafters to try and catch the embers.
Right.
Never see it in England or Scotland or anywhere
That's
like
probably
that.
why
It's
there's so many fires. Yeah, I mean, I'm relatively relaxed, but we could maybe put. That would be a good idea, just to try it and see how it works and how it makes the smoke.
It'd be interesting to try it in different buildings.
Yeah,
And
it's a good idea.
I mean, someone else did tell me that the reason we don't do it here is because there's so much sort of monoxide in the air at the top that embers don't take anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't know how scientific that is.
Yeah. No, I can believe that to be true, and
Yeah.
when I've worked in other places, we've always had fire in the buildings.
Yeah.
With thatch roofs, so.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen it loads of times. That's why I say it was just interesting. You notice the differences. Yeah, in these other places, that's how they do it. Whether that's to do with their fire policies and things as well.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh.
I think in the Netherlands particularly, we had to be registered with the fire service that we were on site in the evening.
Oh, wow.
And we couldn't have fires in the buildings after 5 p.m, I think, was it, Em?
Oh, wow. Well, we'll have to get strict.
So they were obviously quite concerned about their buildings. But
yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I guess it'd be worth talking about the future of the site. So you're obviously going to build a new Crannog.
Yeah, so we're due to start the Crannog in September. So that maybe take about 18 months.
Yeah.
So we're looking for Easter 2026 for the grand opening.
Yeah.
Looking to thatch and heather rather than reed.
Yeah.
And then these buildings that we're in now, none of them are designed to last forever. No building is.
Sure.
But we're looking at a shelf life here for 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
Yeah.
We're looking to work with the forestry so that we can access the timber over the road. So ideally, we're training up some young people now in woodland management, carpentry, coppicing, and all that sort of stuff. So in the future, to make us genuinely sustainable, we'll go over the road and get the timber we need, because as we built these, we've captured everything with lots of photography.
Yeah.
What went right, what didn't,
Sure.
and we've done all that work. So as we come to build them again, we'll put that learning in place. But I think from a sustainability point of view, we're growing the timbers, we're growing the skills, and we're growing the partnerships that'll sustain us.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's a really good, genuine model. We always set out that everything best we could on this site would be within travelling distance of a Crannog dweller. And again, we're trying to keep hold of that best we can.
Yeah. Makes it more authentic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then we'll get into the rhythm of the seasons then, when the hazel's due for harvesting.
Yeah.
That's when we'll do the work with the hazel, when we need it bendy.
Yeah.
So, and so on and so forth. It's
Yeah.
the best time to chop things down, best things to grow things back. And I think once we get into that rhythm of the seasons and of time, 7-year cycles, the site will become even more felt. So I don't know if you noticed in the museum, the poet's done it. I asked him to write a poem around feltness.
Oh, I don't think I noticed that one.
So it's a word I did a talk somewhere, and I just said, the place, what we want, because ambition for the new site. And I said,
Yeah.
I wanted to have I was trying to say feeling, but it wouldn't go in my head.
Feltness.
And I came up with feltness. So, which kind of captures all that, as I said, that sense of the place being a sanctuary, a place for anyone.
Yeah.
We can't be a place for everybody because everybody can't fit in.
Yeah.
But we can be a place for anyone.
Yeah.
So when the National Trust say forever for everyone or something, it's nonsense, because not everybody could fit in, but we could be a place for anyone.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Nice. Yeah. Lovely. I think we've pretty much covered everything I wanted to ask you
Okie
about.
dokie.
Unless you think there's anything that I should have brought up, maybe that.
No, I don't think so. I think hopefully while you've been with us, you've had a bit of a sense that we're quite a close-knit community of workers together.
Yeah.
And that everybody, as I say, we're quite a cooperative. We are a charitable trust. I would prefer to call ourselves a socialist enterprise.
That's a good point to tie up on. So there are 7 questions that I ask every guest, and I know you don't know what these are.
Oof. I'm all of a quiver.
So the first one is, and this will be interesting actually. So it's, if you had an unlimited budget, what would be your dream project?
Unlimited budget.
I wouldn't say you have an unlimited budget here, but you're kind of.
No, if we had an unlimited budget to be able to employ as many people as possible in meaningful work, that's one of my drivers is to, within the heritage world, to employ a diverse workforce, and it be meaningful with real living wage payer. The heritage world, the museum world, it's even now quite rarefied as you start to get certain. It's the same old people.
Yeah.
And I would love to, and to build some social housing so people can afford to live here, and buy a helicopter. No, I wouldn't.
We've never had that option, but
I have a penchant for Lambrettas and Vespers. We've been all over went to Morocco a couple of years ago on one, and I would probably treat myself to one.
Yeah.
Instead of getting the big pay rise.
Fair enough. Paid in Vespers.
Yeah, that'll do.
All right. So next question, I'm going to tweak it slightly from the normal, which I've never done before. But do you think you could survive on an Iron Age diet?
No.
Nope. Done.
I like potatoes too much.
Well, so connected to that, the next question is there any food you'd miss?
Yeah,
so
chips.
Potatoes, chips.
Chips and tomatoes.
Yeah.
Every day I live on tomatoes.
Yeah.
It's my favourite food. I always have tomatoes every day, and I love potatoes.
Yeah.
So I'd be rubbish. And coffee and
Coffee's
tea.
a good one. Yeah.
So not so much into burgers or anything, but I do enjoy potatoes.
Yeah.
And a good cup of coffee.
Yeah. Nice. So next one.
And chocolate.
Still going?
Sorry,
Any more?
No, that's it. I'm
sure?
Done. Yeah.
So yeah, next one is, what's the weirdest thing in your kitchen?
Weirdest thing? Well, at home?
You could choose here if you like.
No.
We're in your Iron Age kitchen area now.
Yeah.
Or at home.
If it's weird. I can't think there's anything too weird in there. I'm pretty boring, really. I always have about 3 or 4 packets of biscuits on the go, lots of crisps, tomatoes. Can't think there's anything too weird in there. Nugget. I like my nugget as well. No, there's nothing
No?
nothing I could shock you with
All
on that one. I'm
standard
sorry.
stuff.
Yeah,
I'll explain why I asked that question after we finished.
okay. I've said.
Yeah. So what's the worst thing you've ever eaten?
The worst thing I've ever eaten.
Some people go for a drink, but that's...
Liver. At school.
Yeah.
I mean, school dinners now are different, but when I was at school, you got a proper dinner. But whenever liver was on, my heart would sink.
Yeah.
I would sink. And the dinner ladies used to encourage you to eat it all.
Oh, yes, they did.
Kind of used to just squeak. The knife used to squeak as you. Oh.
Oh,
Anyway.
overcooked.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you still won't eat it today?
No, I wouldn't. No, I'm not a liver.
No.
No. No, I'm a grown man. I can eat what I like.
Yeah, fair. Mine's gone blank now.
Oh, sorry.
No, I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, so what's the most memorable meal you've ever had?
Oh well, I think lots of memorable meals. It was my daughter's wedding on Saturday. We had a bit of food there, and I'll always remember that. I think we just going back to when we went to Morocco on the bike. We went to Fez to the Festival of Sacred Music, which was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And the place where we were staying, the food in there was fantastic. And just sitting there after you had heard this fantastic music and been quite moved to sit there and still feel the whatever it is that the feltness.
Yeah.
To
Good
sit
word.
to sit and eat something really that had been really nicely cooked and made with love, and it was just beautiful, and it was of its place, was fantastic. Yeah, so I think that's probably one of my most memorable bits of food.
All right. So the next one is going to be, I tried to work out how to make this Iron Age. Can't really because of the subject. So the premise is you've died.
Oh no.
Family and friends are preparing your grave goods.
Yeah.
What food and drink do you get to take to the feast in Valhalla?
Well, they would probably throw in a crate of Estrella, my Spanish beer that I really like.
Yeah.
They would probably throw in 4 or 5 packets of biscuits, because I live on biscuits.
Anything in particular?
I really do like just a plain digestive.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like chocolate chip cookies and bourbons. Yeah, any biscuit.
Throw them all in.
Crisps, of course. I've just got these Spanish crisps now that are chili, and it's got a little parental advice on the thing because they're that hot. So
yeah.
So I'd have some of them. I really like Indian food, so a bit of
Yeah.
Indian food in there. Yeah, that nothing. Probably some eggs. I like eggs as well. Some nice poached eggs on toast.
Yeah.
Will keep me going.
Good mix.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're saying about the hot crisp. I think, was it last week there was an article about a bunch of kids had been hospitalised after eating something like that.
Oh well. Oh, I can imagine then.
They had had the parental warning, and
Yeah.
and they'd had a number of kids being
Oh, wow.
hospitalised. Yeah.
Because I'd eat them and I'd run my eye for a reason, and my eyes flared up.
Yeah.
So it must be quite powerful. Anyway.
Yeah.
I won't bore you with that.
All right. Well, that's the last question.
Oh
So
well.
yeah, thank you for coming on the podcast.
No, thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you for having us as well.
So
Yeah, lovely stuff.
if I can end with a philosophical question, do you know the difference between a camera and a sock?
Go on.
A camera takes
Pictures.
another word for pictures. A camera
Photos.
takes photos,
Yeah.
and a sock takes 5 toes. Yeah, keep that.
Oh dear.
All right, in one.
Do you want to do a quick social media plug or anything like that for Crannog?
Just come and see us.
Yeah.
Yeah, just come and see us. We need people's support. Of course we do. We're almost like a start-up
Yeah.
business again, really. Although we aren't a business. Socialist enterprise at all times. Yeah, just come and see us and be part of it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll pop some links like under the video and
Yeah,
stuff for like
brilliant.
your Facebook and.
Yeah, all righty.
Perfect.
Is that all right?
Yeah.
Are we done?
Yeah. Thank you everyone for watching
Yeah, thank you for watching.
or listening, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye. If you enjoyed the show and want to hear more, remember to like and subscribe and give the show a rating. You can also help keep the show going by becoming a Patreon, where you'll get early access to all episodes, or check out my range of merch on my store. Links are in the episode description. Thanks for watching.